The entire planet knows exactly what an American police car looks like. Epic Hollywood car chases have made the Ford Crown Vic famous across the globe. And now it's time for an electric vehicle to join the fleet. The competition to supply the U.S. Police Department with EVs is intense. But it looks like Ford has come out on top again as the Ford CEO has confirmed a Ford F-150 Lightning Police Interceptor. Join us today as we explore the F-150 Lightning police car and why this deal is huge news for the Ford Motor Company. Nate Oscarson, Ford's National Government Sales Manager, said in a statement, "We're proud to offer America's first electric police pickup truck to local government customers who can use the truck's game-changing technology to help improve their productivity." Ford's CEO has made his goal of becoming the world's #1 electric vehicle manufacturer very clear. But what most people have missed is his strategy. Farley told CNBC's Phil LeBeau, "Our electric strategy is very specific. We're going to invest in segments where we're the dominant player and we have scale." Police contracts are an area where Ford has been dominant for 70 years, and with this new F-150 Lightning deal, they have the ability to achieve scale quickly. Ford has been a staple in law enforcement since the 1980s when the Interceptor was selected as the main police vehicle in the US and Canada. This iconic V8 was easy to maintain, durable, rear-wheel drive, and fast. Ford held a monopoly on police cars for over 10 years until the 2000s when other brands started to compete. Now, it's more common to see the likes of a Dodge Charger, Dodge Ram, Chevy Tahoe, or Chevy Silverado patrolling your neighborhood. However, Ford is still dominant in this sector. Commercial and government fleet managers are under more pressure to reduce their carbon footprint, and as such, over the next 5 to 10 years, the EV industry will be competing for huge fleet contracts. The F-150 Lightning is a perfect vehicle to protect and serve, with 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 4 seconds, the fastest of any current police vehicle. Along with speed comes cost savings with no requirement for gas and a much less frequent maintenance schedule. In addition to pursuit specs, however, the EV police truck was designed to handle many of the other situations officers experience. Ford's Pro Power on Board can serve as a power unit at any accident or crime scene, powering anything from lighting to power tools. The trunk adds extra lockable storage that police can use to carry extra equipment. While larger law enforcement agencies in the US like the Los Angeles Police Department have used electric vehicles like Tesla's as more of a marketing tool to promote sustainability, this move from Ford shows that police departments are ready to adopt EVs for day-to-day use. According to Ford Pro, 12,000 police departments throughout the United States use Ford patrol cars. Police and commercial fleet contracts are a huge revenue source for traditional manufacturers. Fleet managers across the country are looking at ways to reduce costs and reduce their carbon footprint. And for the first time, EVs are now within reach of state budgets. Chief Todd Bertram from the Bargersville Police Department in Indiana reportedly performed a presumptive analysis for switching to an EV fleet. He estimated that the department would save about $6,000 a year on fuel and maintenance, with a break-even point at about the 24-month mark. EV companies like Rivian are built off of one commercial contract. They famously signed a JV with Amazon to provide 100,000 EV Amazon delivery vans and now have gone on to build a company valued at over $30 billion. An officer at the Spokane, Washington Police Department explained that the low cost of operation, less maintenance, and great acceleration were huge positives for EVs. However, Tesla doesn't custom build their Model 3s for the police, which means the seat doesn't leave room for a utility belt, making it hard to drive and carry a sidearm. The Model 3's huge central display is perfect for normal drivers, but the non-optional computer meant that it made it challenging for police to track important information such as range and speedometer while driving. The cars are smaller, with less storage and equipment space, and for a police vehicle, this also caused operational issues. It is evident that police require a vehicle built specifically for them, and that's where Ford has delivered with the F-150 Lightning. Police will be able to perform all of their regular duties without having to give up the electric benefits. If you've ever seen police cars idling their fuel away while they're attending a crime scene, you may think it's wasteful. However, they do this in order to keep equipment working. If they left equipment to run off the car battery, it would be drained in minutes. However, with an electric car, that equipment can get its power without wasting much range at all. Every city, county, and state has limited resources. Therefore, conserving fuel money allows more funds to go towards items that people require. The F-150 Lightning is a game changer for police departments across America, and it will be interesting to see how many other countries follow suit. The United Arab Emirates is known for having one of the most exotic and diverse police fleets on the planet. The Abu Dhabi police have a patrol fleet that includes Ferraris, Bentleys, and Lamborghinis. The Dubai police have a fleet that consists of BMW i8s, Chevrolet Camaro SS, and even a Bugatti Veyron. But both fleets also include Tesla Model S and Model X and use them as everyday patrol vehicles. Ford can see that police around the globe are much more inclined to opt for an EV patrol vehicle. As part of Ford's wider EV strategy, Jim Farley confirmed in a CNBC interview that they plan to invest $22 billion in electric vehicles before 2025. He followed up with a strong statement that we're not going to cede the future to anyone, suggesting that they know they're in for a fight and that this could be a Kodak moment for the 114-year-old car maker. Ford is the only traditional car manufacturer in America that has never been bankrupt. They survived the 2008 financial crisis with a government loan of $6 billion, which they will start to pay back this year. The Ford F-150 Lightning was announced by CEO Jim Farley in 2019 at the Detroit Motor Show. They collected 44,500 pre-orders in less than 2 days and started deliveries in early 2022. So far, the reviews for the customer model have been excellent. This consumer confidence, along with a track record of providing police vehicles, means departments across the country will have no hesitation to upgrade their fleet to a Ford EV so they can enjoy the cost-saving and performance upgrades an electric fleet will provide.
Based on the latest numbers we have from Ford, it appears as though at least 75% of those people who pre-ordered a Ford F-150 Lightning electric pickup truck have cancelled their order. At least 75%. This is a conservative number. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching The Electric Viking. I'll be at the Fully Charged Live or Electrify Everything in February. Love to see you there. 20% discount on tickets. Use my promotion code in the description below. So, Ford F-150 Lightning. It was one of the most pre-ordered vehicles in the history of mankind. Ford has never had 250,000 pre-orders for any vehicle in history. Never. They've never had 250,000 pre-orders before a vehicle went on sale. It is the only vehicle that has had that kind of demand before, perceived demand before it went on sale. So what actually happened? Well, now we know that Ford has, many Ford dealerships are saying we have too many Lightnings, please stop sending them. We've heard that information from various dealers all around the United States. In fact, now many dealerships are pulling out of selling EVs altogether, which is very disappointing for them, and I think they don't have a future, but anyway, that's their decision. And we know how many Ford F-150 Lightnings have been delivered. We know now that Ford no longer has any pre-order holders left because they are slowing down production. They are halving Ford F-150 production, halving it. We're talking small numbers already becoming even smaller. You don't do that if you have orders coming in the door. You don't do that if you still have 100,000 pre-orders left in the books. You keep on making them. You ramp production. You don't cut it in half. So clearly Ford doesn't have any pre-orders left, or if it does, the number is very, very small. So how many Ford F-150 Lightnings has Ford delivered total so far? Since the vehicle went on sale, Ford have delivered a total of 36,000. In fact, it's just a bit less than 36,000. They've delivered just over 20,000 this year and 15,000 last year for, like I said, just under 36,000. So let's just go up. Let's make that number a little bit higher and say 36,000. Ford had more than 250,000 pre-orders. In fact, they had so many pre-orders that when they hit 200,000, which was quite a long time ago, they paused pre-orders. You could not pre-order a Ford F-150 Lightning anymore. They said no more orders will be taken. They then reopened pre-orders a couple of months after that, and they hit approximately 250,000 as per sources from Ford themselves. If they've sold or just under 36,000 so far, and they now have vehicles piling up in dealerships and they're not selling that well, and they are halving production numbers, which are already small, to only a few thousand per month, it's very clear they don't have any pre-orders left. And if they do, it's got to be a very, very small number. Now, if we look at what percentage 36,000 is out of 250,000, 36,000 is what percent of 250,000? It is exactly 14.4%, which would mean that 86% of Ford F-150 Lightning pre-order holders have cancelled their order, or no longer wish to take delivery, or pause their order, whatever it may be. 86%. Now, I'm going to say that Ford still has a few pre-orders left, or maybe some people are waiting for a certain trim level, but that can't be any more than, say, 10,000. Now, that would bring us to 46,000. If we add 10,000 to 36,000, we get 46,000, obviously, which would mean 18.4%. So, 81.6% have therefore cancelled. Now, give Ford a little bit of grace. Maybe there's some missing numbers here. Maybe there's a bit of strange accounting going on. Let's just be kind to Ford. Let's bring that 81.6%, and let's just round that all the way down to 75%. As you can see here, I'm being very, very considerate to Ford here. These numbers could be far worse than what I'm reporting, but there is no question that at least 75% of pre-orders for the Ford F-150 Lightning have been cancelled. That is historically bad. I don't believe there's ever been a vehicle in the history of mankind that has had this many cancellations. 75% minimum have been cancelled. If you think that I'm exaggerating, why did Ford halve production numbers, which are already very small already? Clearly, there's just not the demand there. There will be in the future. I think Ford's version 2 of the F-150 Lightning will be a much better vehicle, and I don't think they're going to see massive cancellations. But as you can see from these numbers, at least 75% have cancelled their orders. That's just terrible. Hopefully, Ford can make a better product, or maybe just if they did something like this, if they simply increase the charging speed by, say, from 150 kilowatt to 250, that might make a lot more people more confident to buy it. Because a lot of people have said they've had trouble charging. Even the CEO of Ford said he has trouble charging, finding enough places to charge. He said it was really challenging. He himself had that issue. So I think Ford will have a much better success rate in the future. But at this point in time, maybe partially also because Ford raised the price of the F-150 Lightning on 5 different occasions, this has been a huge flop for Ford, a huge disappointment. Ford said we had our iPhone moment about the first or second quarter of 2022 when they realized EV demand was enormous. They've now run back on that statement and said, well, it's not going that well. But then we hear CEOs like Mercedes